Vera got beaten by Bibasinov in the Olympic Games in the preliminary round, and he could be on for a rematch in the semi-finals if they both get that far. It's on though. Bronze medalist at the 2019 Pan Am Games. Boxed at the World Championships in 2017, and he's up against Masud YUSIFZADA of Azerbaijan. Good fight against Enwin Dakkarku in the opening round. One on a split, 4-1. Strong counter puncher. Kind of sits back, waits, right hand cocked, ready to rock and roll at all times. Really, Rivera. I'd say he's more of a. He's a kind of a twitchy southpaw. I think is probably how I would choose to describe him. Falls short a bit with his left hand, and that could be a problem against YUSIFZADA, because as I say, he sits back and he'll look to try and draw that left hand from him and then wallop him with his right hand. That'll be the plan here, I think, for him. He boxed at the recent World Military Championships. Got a bronze at the AIBA Youth World Championships back in 2014. Boxed in Russia 2 years ago at the Senior World. So these two have been around the block, up and down the street about the same amount of times as each other, really, in this kind of competition. So that's Rivera.
Round number 1.
So Rivera, Puerto Rico in the red, boxing out of the southpaw stance. YUSIFZADA, Azerbaijan in the blue. YUSIFZADA just prodding with that jab, a kind of exploratory jab. He's not really doing anything with that, really. He's always ready to go with that right hand. Almost just throws that left to measure the distance to pull that right hand through. Again, just bobbing with it there, just seeing how close he is. Shifting forward with that front foot, front feet clashing a little bit, and then gets that front foot on the outside of Rivera's front foot. That's the battle. Each of these fighters here will want to get their front foot on the outside of their opponents. Orthodox against southpaw, that's what coaches will tell you need to do. You need to claim that ground. If you find yourself on the inside, then it lines you up better for your opponent's right hand and makes it difficult to land your own, or at least it can do. Cagey this so far. I think a right hand has landed, and another one there, right to the body. That's what he's looking for, YUSIFZADA. Just standing on the borderline of range, just out of range. Rivera had him back in the corner, then just stepped square, planted his feet wide, wanted to try and keep him in there, but YUSIFZADA just slips off to his left. Just short with the right hand that time, YUSIFZADA. Rivera trying to get up on top of him on the ropes. Cut the ring off well there. Got a couple away, I think, to the body. He's used that right very sparingly in this opening round, YUSIFZADA. That was a good right hand up top. He's landed 4 probably clean right hands, I would say, YUSIFZADA. Rivera, his work has been a little bit messier when he has looked like he's maybe got through. Right to the body again there from YUSIFZADA. He's picking that right hand well, and at the minute I would say that's going to end up winning in the round. Left hand there from Rivera. YUSIFZADA claimed another right hand. Right and a left there from YUSIFZADA. Rivera maybe just getting a little bit frustrated here. Got caught with a left there again, and enough clean shots there from YUSIFZADA, I think, to win that round, even though he's boxing off the back foot. I say even though he's boxing off the back foot, it shouldn't matter. It all just comes down to who lands what in the end, but judges can give credit sometimes to a fighter on the front foot. But there was too big a difference there in the in the clean punching between the two for that to play any part. Into the second round, YUSIFZADA will look to do exactly what he did in the first round. I think Rivera's got to try and bring a bit more heat. Steps to him immediately in the middle of the ring. He's got to commit more. I think he might take a few more, but it'll give him a better chance of landing some, because he was waiting too long, Rivera, and then that right hand would come in. And again there, that's two in the first few seconds of the opening round. Left hand comes back from Rivera. There's no point in him standing off at that kind of range, because all that will happen there is that eventually YUSIFZADA will throw. Either he needs to be out, Rivera, all the way out, if you like, or all the way in, because if he's standing in that middle distance there, then we know what's going to happen. YUSIFZADA's just going to wait. He's going to hold that weight just more towards his back foot, and then he's going to dive in with that right hand, pull the weight back. He's good enough at that if you have the fight at that distance there, that's what he's going to do. He's got to throw there, Rivera, I think, in combination, not just single shots. Left hand there from YUSIFZADA, I beg your pardon. Minute into round two. Rivera just picking up those feet to follow YUSIFZADA across the ring. Got caught by a lovely combination there, though. Rivera steps in, and he was standing quite tall, and YUSIFZADA just pinged him with a left and a right, and then another left. He's boxing really well here, YUSIFZADA. I don't want to sound too critical of Rivera, but I do think that he's playing into his hands. He's throwing single shots, or at best a 1-2 at the moment, Rivera. That's not going to work. I think he's got to gamble now, because he's losing this round. He's lost the first round. He's definitely losing this round. The time has come, I think, to let his hands go a bit, and if it doesn't work out, then he hasn't really lost anything, because at the minute, you know, he's 50 seconds away from going 2 rounds down. That's more like it on the inside there. Got a couple away, then stepped off. He could have done with just stepping back on there and going again. So that's the second round in the books, and that's going to be another one in the back pocket of Masud YUSIFZADA. He's boxed well here. He's come with a plan. He's picked his punches well. As I said, he sits back and waits to throw that right hand, and that's exactly what he's done, and he's done it very effectively. He threw a couple of good combinations in that second round too, one in particular. And this is a difficult task for Rivera, but kind of standing off on the borderline of range as he has been, and almost having a bit of a stare down with YUSIFZADA, just has not worked for him at all, and that was the combination which caught him. He's picking those single punches, YUSIFZADA. Rivera. Well, in this final round now, and he's got to go for broke now, because he needs 10-8s. He hasn't really managed to put YUSIFZADA under too much pressure, and when that's the case, you should never just concentrate on what you think one fighter might not have done. You have to give the other fighter credit for not allowing it to happen. YUSIFZADA stepped in and took a right hand to the body straight away. right at the start of the round. Strong right hand. Rolled underneath. The hook came up and hit Rivera hard there, I think, on the far side of the ring. Short right hand too. So into the final minutes of round 3. We're heading for another unanimous decision here. Sakan Bibasinov got one against Deepak, but that was up for grabs heading into the final round. Uberjan Martinez got one against Giannis Zalotskik. That wasn't. Little bit of damage to the left eye there. And Masud YUSIFZADA is going to get one here against Yankiel Rivera. I've talked about fighters winning fights with the jab. YUSIFZADA has won this fight with single right hands. Single right hands. Good balance and a single right hand. He's barely thrown a jab. Leads off with the left hook there. So good win there, good performance from YUSIFZADA. And he's won that at a canter, really. As I say, had a plan, very much had a plan, and executed it. And Rivera, he just had no antidote for it, I'm afraid.
To the blue corner, from Azerbaijan, it's Masud YUSIFZADA.
So 3-0 there with 4 of the judges. Ukraine has gone Rivera's way with that final round. So it's still a unanimous decision, but not quite a full set of 3-0s. Good performance. As I said, he had a plan and he executed it well. And he's safely through to the quarterfinals there, YUSIFZADA, where he will face the winner of our next fight, which is between Thanarat Sangfet of Thailand and Miguel Ramos of Venezuela.